If you're tired of spending all your money on your Gillette razor and disposables and all these monthly fees from Henry's, Harry's, Jeremy's, well, this video is for you because I'm gonna walk you through step by step how to use a traditional safety razor and get a better shave than what you're getting right now for a lower cost per year. If you're struggling from ingrown hairs, razor burn, your complexion's bad, stick around and let me show you how I get perfect shaves almost every time. The first thing I like to do is preparation. I like to take a shower to help soften up the hairs on my face and get all the dirt and oil off. So I'm gonna jump in the shower and I'll be right back. Now I just jumped out of the shower, so now I'm ready to do the second thing that we need to do is apply shaving cream or soap to our face. Now you can use the shaving cream in a can, but I don't recommend it. With all these silicone products that they put in there, it's not creating a good barrier between your skin and the razor. It's just not. If you start using soaps and creams that are in a tin like this is made by Shannon Shaving Soaps, made here in Cleveland, Ohio. Great soap. And with this, you need to use a brush. And the reason why I like using the brush and soap in a tin or a puck is because it's going to help lift up the hairs on your face and it's going to clean all your pores out, right? But it's going to help lift the hairs on your face. That is huge. That is definitely what you need. And the slickness barrier that this creates between your skin and the razor, it'll just blow your mind away how slick this stuff is. So now there's various types of brushes you can use. There's badger brushes, boar brushes, hair brushes, or horsehair brushes, a blend. Me personally, in the last like 3 years, synthetic brushes have been #1 in the wet shaving community. Some people are still stuck on their badger brushes because they've spent a couple $100s on them. You don't have to spend that much. I'm just going to use my go-to, which is this adjustable shaving brush here. Here's one that's not put together. You buy the handle and then the knots. They give you all these different collets to fit any knot that you want. And this is a 24mm knot right here. You can see how big it is. This is another 24. Okay, this one's like a $20 knot from the razor company, which I actually like it. I think it's like $16, but it's a good brush for a starter brush. And then you have one of my all-time favorites, which is this T3 Simpson brush. The only bad thing about this brush is if you drop it, it's made out of porcelain and it cracks, then this $45 brush, you got to replace. So that's why I've pretty much switched to these, because you can put any brush you want. I've tried 4 or 5 brushes so far and I like it. But the cool thing about these is to prep these brushes, you just put some water in here. You just dunk it in the water, right? And it's prepped. I just rinse it out, right? There's still water in here. Go into my puck and just pick up some of this soap on the ends of these bristles here. Okay, that's loaded. Let me put some warm water here on my face. Okay, that's good enough. Now I'm just gonna paint this on my face. This is called face lathering. So I paint it on my face just to get it on here, right? Now I'm going to go into the water just with the tips of the brush, like 1/8 of an inch. Just put it in there, shake it out. Now put it on your face and break the backbone. Start exfoliating and creating a lather. Now, some people like a really huge lather. Some people like just enough to get away with. I don't know. I just wait till I get it to where it's like whipped cream. And then I, go ahead and shave. So what I do is I like to put a little bit on my face, let it start soaking in to soften up my hairs. That way I can get a perfect shave. So I'm just going to take one of these AccuForge blades or AccuThrive blades. These are the MedTech blades or MedPrep blades. These are really good blades. A little on the expensive side, but I know I'm going to go through them. The cool thing with these is there's no glue inside here. If you've ever seen any of these double-edged safety razors. So I'm just going to set that down to the side here. I'm going to take this Yates Precision safety razor here. It's a 3-piece razor. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to load in the double-edged safety razor blade here, just to the top. Set it in there and line it up like so. Take the base plate. Now this is the EH plate. It's their most aggressive plate that they have, which I have like a week's worth of growth on my face, so it's going to be probably going to give me just a perfect shave. You can hear that top cap clamping down on these or on this double-edged razor blade. Now the difference between that and like any of your 3 or 4 or 5 bladed razor blades it clamps it down. So it's not gonna chatter, okay? Which we call blade chatter. It's when the razor skips across your hair, which causes ingrown hairs, cuts, razor burn. This is gonna eliminate that. All right, now that I have it loaded up, I'm just gonna go back in here real quick, put the tips in. Get this built a little bigger. And you notice on my face, I hang out a little bit more on my neck just because, it's my more sensitive area. Now, I don't think I've got enough soap on it, so I'm just going to go back in here and grab a little more soap and apply it just like that. I couldn't get that build up the way I wanted to. Let's see where it's at now. Oh yeah, there we go. When the soap starts to peek off the hairs on my face, I know I'm pretty much good. Just like it is right there. All right, we're going to call that good. Now I'm going to go in for the first pass, show you how I get a perfect shave using a traditional safety razor. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to lay this on my face. I'm not going to push on it. I'm going to set it on my face, get the right angle, which is about roughly 25 to 30 degrees, and then just start making strokes to remove the hair. Now when you first start out using a safety razor, you're going to probably be like me. I thought I could shave my whole face without even rinsing it, which honestly you could, because these are so good. They're clamped down so nice that it's just night and day difference between using a Gillette or any disposable razor compared to a safety razor. So again, I'm just going to rest it on here. Oh yeah. Okay. Now when you first start out, you're going to have a hard time because I always forgot to spin it. See how good that is? So good. Now my hair grows down, and then on my cheek line here it grows across, and then where my Adam's apple is right here, it grows up. So I kind of do a variation of a shave here. So I'm going to still go with the grain here. See how effortlessly that removes that growth? It's just amazing. Let's come over here. So smooth. Okay. Love it. Now up top here, I like to rock it until it bites and then I start shaving. Just like so. Okay. Now, for most people, I would say, especially if you're just starting out, stop here. You went with the grain. You got a really good shave. It's pretty close. But if you want a little bit better shave, then do a second pass. Really good shave right there alone. A little bit of stubble down here, which I could do a touch-up pass, but I'm going to go do a second pass. Now, this time, I'm going to go across the grain on my cheeks. I'm going to go against the grain on my lower jawline here and against the grain on my neck. Now, this is the part of my face that is the most sensitive. So I got to be extra careful what I do here. So what I was, when we first started shaving with this thing, I was like, don't put any pressure on it. Down here, you definitely don't want to put any pressure on it. Let me just whip this up real quick. Now, there's using a good shaving soap or cream, you're going to have a residue left on your face. Now, if you don't, that means the shaving cream or soap that you're using isn't that great. But if you do, there's going to be a residue left on your face. So you don't have to build this up like you did the first time, because there's no need for it. I like to just take what's left in here, paint this on, because it's just going to go down the drain anyways. And we'll call that a day. All right, set that to the side. Now, like I said, this is the across the grain pass, just so I can get a little tighter. Got it pretty tight there. Same thing over here. Really good there. I'm just stretching my neck. I'm not pulling on my skin. Okay. Now with this pass here, everything's picked up. I'm going to switch to cold water. I shave with lukewarm water. Everyone always asks, do you shave with hot water? Nah, lukewarm. It's good enough for me. I don't particularly like shaving with cold water, but lukewarm is good enough. All right. Now that I got all that, I go in with an alum block. I'll list all this stuff below. And if you're new to safety razors, I have a video of my 5 best safety razors for beginners. I'll post that up as well. All right, so I'm just getting this thing soaking wet. It's just a block of alum. Start going across my face here. Now what this is going to do is if you got it a little too close, you press down too hard, it's going to help seal the pores on your skin. So if you have like a razor burn, it's going to help alleviate that. And I just use it every time. I highly recommend this. So just rub it on there, rinse it off, and then I just throw it back in its case, like so. Now you're going to want to rinse that off. Doesn't take much, just real quickly. If you don't, it'll leave like a chalky residue on your face. All right, next up, I like to use facial toner. This stuff right here is key. Now, if you're a bald guy, you definitely want to use this stuff every day. I have, and it's cleaned up my the skin on my head tremendously. But it does wonders on your face too. It's a highly recommended product by dermatologists. You might even already have this in your household. And it goes on so wet, so refreshing. Yeah, so refreshing. All right, so the next product I'm going to put on is just some Nivea here. This is just some aftershave balm. The nice thing is this stuff is very inexpensive and it doesn't hang around. So if you use cologne, this stuff's perfect. I'm just going to use about yay much. All right, again, if you're bald, use it everywhere. All right, so my conclusion. If you're still using a Gillette disposable razor and spending all that money on it, or you're spending a ton of money on monthly fees from Harry's, Henry's, Jeremy's, Billy's, if you're a woman, make the switch today. This is so easy to do. You don't have to use the same products I did, but I can tell you one thing. If you follow my steps from the pre-shave to the shaving soap, the shaving brush, the technique using a safety razor, and then using an alum block and this Thayer's, and just some simple aftershave, you're gonna have beautiful results. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys down in the comments section.